The stomach says no need. No need, I still have something to teach you. Do you know which city? Has there been a major auction recently? Degina replied. There's a place 7 streets away. 20,000 people live. The race is Count Tenger. He has an auction that's held every month. Now, the next auction is 11 days away. The city of 20,000 people. Save the wind thinking. It's a big city. There must be a lot of rich traders and settled nobles. There's still a lot of time. It's enough for me to go back to Earth for a trip and then come back. I can see the wind doesn't say anything else. I asked him if he wanted to go there. Take this wine to auction. No wrong answer. If the stock is not much, then this is actually a method of maximizing the benefits. Catherine heard you admit it. Shyly red face suggested. So you save the wind. You can start with us at the right time. I was delighted to agree. Getting consent, Catherinia shyly bowed. Dezina sat next to her as if she had discovered something. Mouth open, big surprise. Wait, Katerina doesn't like to save the wind. Daughter of the public, the Duke liked a small noble in a remote place. The Duke, who knows this, will surely be very angry. I don't have to talk to Catherine once. It's best to have Igina advise you. Dazina continued to look. Still see Catherinia still ashamed. You can only whisper in your head. This is playing with fire. It's daytime. But inside, the police department doesn't see the sunlight at all. The darkness covers. In the police department's detention room, in the flickering light, from the wall-mounted torches, there was a loud shout. Stand up, stand up. The detention period is up. Go out and be a decent show. Don't get back in here. A young man sitting against the wall. Body wearing armor on the body, emitting a deadly gas. He seems to be angry at me. Look, a group of people with dirty faces in the detention room. Throwing yourself. His eyes didn't seem friendly. The policeman yelled at something loudly. If you don't go, you're dragged to mining. It's a heavy fire. Keep it hot. Hard to tell people. Even if you are angry, you have to stand up. Police department in cosmetic head. Fucking exile, and even Daazina. People probably haven't showered in a long time. It smells so good, it's in the sun. The smell gets stronger. Anyone who passes by must also stand and look sideways. Tight nose. The name of the head is full of hate. Dare to treat me like that. I will definitely take revenge. If you can do it, do it. In the dining room of the city, Lao Fong is offering everyone a meal. He stopped the chopsticks and looked at Degina holding her chopsticks. I don't eat without thinking. I asked Degina what she wanted to say. Degina looked at him seriously and replied to him. We'd like to move out. Catherine's fine. I really can't be here to bother you anymore. Catherine, sitting next to me, didn't notice what Degina said. Have fun chewing food. Nicola looked at the two ladies who asked anxiously. I want to move out. In here is not better than SAO. And everyone agrees, that's right. Only Ellie realized the thought of Degina. Catherine is the daughter of the Duke. If you stay here forever, you'll get a bad reputation. Catherine was afraid that people would misunderstand them here. Not good. Immediately stand up, shall I explain here very well. The nuns' culinary skills are also great. It's just love. Just like that, he hugged me. I understand when the power of rumors. Back in his control. Then all explanations are meaningless. People will get dirty water too. In the heart of Liu Feng, very understand the rumors are scary. People in this age have limited knowledge. There's no education. One more thing is not equal to one less thing. He looked at Cather Jin and Dejina. So have you decided where to move? Dejina was a little hesitant to answer. Thank you, Mr. Lao Fong, for understanding us. We looked at a rented house a while ago. In the Atlantic City. The room is also very clean. That sounds good. Turned to Ellie and said, Well be Ellie, she said with an hour's step. Tell him to bring the key. Ellie agreed for an hour. She looked at Catherine and Dazina. Are afraid to probe. The neighborhood has a patrol, so I'm sure. If you have time, come here and play a lot. Karina fun out facial meeting. Yes, thank you very much. A lot of people don't notice their friend next door. The two sides were glittering. Look at the wind full of love. At the same time before the government. The nobles stank just now. I'm going crazy. Cause a riot. People want to storm the city. Shouted at the guard at the door. I'm the cold Viscount. Tell them I want to see your boss. The two guards stopped him and said, The owner is very busy today. No guests, come back tomorrow. Don't be angry with the Viscount. Grinds his teeth, even a guard like you would dare. Then I'm going to jump. The others saw you in a hurry to stop the advice. Not be aggressive. The Viscount stopped to think. Just get Catherine's body out. Take it to the Duke. The Duke will take revenge. I just finished thinking about the bad meaning. He lowered his voice to the guard. So, ask when the owner has time. That's a jerk who flips his face faster than a waffle. Now, the government's door is open. The ones who came out were Dazina and Catherine. I see my people standing there. Azina asked the Viscount. Why are you here? From the cold Earl looked at C.A. Poetry Jin in amazement. C.A. Poetry Jin is still alive. It's impossible. Do you want people to die or something? Then he laughed coldly in his head again. There was a conspiracy. Being alive is good. I have the opportunity to be a duke. The rest of the nobles. I was glad to see Catherine come out. Wise to say, Miss Catherine, you're not okay. We're going to visit you. The other name says yes. That's right, your health is fine. People like to jump up and kiss. Around Catherine and Dazina. But Karina and Catherine are cold. Carrying voice sulking. Don't come close, we've seen your faces. The Kier people were in a hurry to explain the Kodajina. What are you talking about? Everyone, we're all very worried about Catherine's health. I hope she gets well soon. Catherine heard the fake Kier people say. I'm so angry right now. Of course, you're worried. It's more like worrying will get better. Catherine said angrily, let out their evil plan. I knew your plan was after I died. You will lay all your sins on Dazina. You are afraid of death and not living. Responsibility as you. I don't want anything to do with you. Waiting to return to the capital, I will tell you the truth. The bad guys heard Catherine talk about it. I will tell the Duke. It's as terrifying as lightning. The leader of the centipede thought to himself. Once she tells the Duke, my future is like a dead end. I can't let her come back. When he thought of this, he made a scared face. People be careful, cause this Jin poetry is fake. See everyone in the picture. He's already psychologically manipulated. Kakather Jin's illness is very serious. The medical doctor followed on board. I also said that it's dangerous. Even if it is cured, you also have to stay in bed for a long time. It may appear soon. And run up and down like now. I'm sure she's a fake. That the Dezina and the City of the Atlantic arranged to deny responsibility. Coco, Jin is really dead. The rest of you heard the name hot for a while. I don't believe it, but look at each other. This centipede's aesthetic is sinister. Whether it's real or fake in front of you. As long as Catherine dies in Atlantic City. Until then, blame the owner of the Atlantic City. They can both survive and keep their money. It's a bunch of jerks playing together. I think they're talking to Theo. I am so sick that I can recover. You can walk around in just a few days. This is definitely fake. The aggressive people rushed to Catherine. Daza in front of me. Catherine looked at the people who didn't know this. Tell me what you want to do. This is Catherine, the Duke's daughter. Don't change white for black. The bald-faced man came up. Pushing hard on the head. Azina, make you fall down. My mouth doesn't stop berating Azina. You are also an accomplice. I'll have you brought back to the capital to face the crime. The robbers and the villagers don't even know. Shame on the Viscount. I will not allow anyone to defile your title. Catherine, let's deal with these impostors. The wind suddenly boomed. Gatekeeper. I saw that these men were going to hurt two girls. Run to stop it. What do you want to do? Just moved forward. The two guards were thrown away by the blonde with her sword. See a chance. Dodd rushed towards Catherine. Swinging his sword at Catherine. Shout the fake thing out loud. Catherine was afraid to cry. Hugging Degina mouth, endlessly crying for help. Save me with the sword that's about to strike Catherine. Then there was a loud Ken sound. In front of two scared girls is the owner of the Atlantic City. The wind fluttered its sword, causing the cold man to fly away. Look at the people. You dare to mess with the government. Use a basic line. We've dealt with the nobles of the capital. I don't know this integrity. Put the sword in the shell. Look at the people who are down on the ground. Order the guards. You didn't take these four to the police. The two guards immediately obeyed the order. CA Poetry Jin no longer looks afraid crying. Instead, it's a glittering face. Look at the exasperation. Beautiful, handsome too. There are two letters written on my forehead, sister. Save the kindness to come to care. Sorry to scare you. CA Poetry Jin just woke up. One of the guards is escorting the bastards. The cold name is still buzzing no. Don't treat me like that. I'm the cold Viscount who has to sue you. You're the killer. He looked anxiously at the two fragile ladies in front of him. Asked if he was injured. Catherine hurriedly replied no. No, really, thank you very much. If you don't show up, we're in danger. It's so calm outside. In the heart of CA Poetry Jin is dancing. My heart is beating so fast. It is not possible to save the White Horse Prince Sao. Winter weather, snowy cold. In the city government, the heater is always on fire to keep warm. The fire fluttered and the wood cracked. Carry a stack of documents to the desk. Ask Liu Feng, why is the wick not here? My brother has a cold. Please stop looking for him today. Ellie puts a heavy stack of crickets on the table and packs a. Give me the documents from the hospital. Look at the heavy documents Ellie just brought. That's a lot of exasperation. Then he looked at the medical report that was open on the table. Tell Mina it's cold. The number of people with the flu is increasing rapidly. Drugs stored in the warehouse of inflammatory diseases about to be used up. Mina and I went to the warehouse to get some medicine. Take it to the hospital. Mina said yes. Liu Feng continued to speak freely. Tell the doctor. As the patient's situation increases, let me know right away. Ellie was surprised to see such worry. I wonder about the cold weather. The number of patients increased. This is not normal SAO. Do I need to be so worried? Liu Feng explained. Of course, it's like a cold. Don't worry too much. But if it's an epidemic, it's dangerous. Save face stress thinking. The level of healing in this world is still very backward. If it emerges as an infectious disease, uncontrolled from the beginning, then the Atlantic will be gone. Although the last medicine brought back from the earth is still there, but it's time to use it all. Later on, more and more people were watching. Medicine garden building plan. We have to move faster. While Liu Feng is immersed in, like a stream of thoughts, Ellie then rolled her eyes and asked about the strange word. Just heard. What is an epidemic? The sound of children breaking. The silent atmosphere attracts everyone's attention. Chivia is so cold. The two rabbits came. Pink girl Sumi is complaining to her sister. Via gently replied. Let's go inside and drink a glass of warm water. Warm day. She looked at the girl and said, it's getting colder these days. I haven't tried the hot spring after finishing the previous batch. Let's take a hot spring bath tonight. It's getting colder in the dark, but in a place where there's hot water rushing. The heat is rising. It's the hot springs that the wind refers to. The animals saw the hot water in front of them, excited to exclaim, the water heater is too big. Everybody, take off your clothes and go to the sound. The girls wear white bathrobes. To the hot springs. The view here is fantastic. Warm yellow light. The steam that's coming up makes this place quite a sight. An hour of undressing. Taurus girl personality. Smiling tongue gown. To reveal the honey cake-toned body. Charming curves in a brown swimsuit. Next to her is Sumi, the blue-haired rabbit. Take off your coat and call Theo. I am waiting for you. I jumped a gun and splashed water. Made the people standing on the shore suddenly scream amniotic fluid. It's not far from the shore. Sensual Mina cat in black swimsuit. She looked at Ellie, who was shy. Next to laughing. Everyone is comfortable. What are you hiding? Ellie, hands covered in front of her chest. Bad cat, don't look at me like that. Aveni hurriedly brought the shawl to the middle cho, Ellie said. It's cold, Your Highness. Put your scarf on. Don't get cold. People vomit under the pleasant hot water, Via say. It's very comfortable, and I agree with you. That's right, Kier and Sumi are having fun. To drop water on the dodging Ellie. Ellie looked at the two men with a bullet. You want to play loud, right? I'm on a team with Avenzi. Aveni doesn't seem to want to participate in this childish game. Refused to say no. Ellie continued to drop water and laughed happily. Via watching the Kier children playfully talking to Mina. The energy of the real dark child Mina also approves. You see, Ellie doesn't. Before I could finish my sentence, a stream of water shot towards Mina. The water shot in the face surprised her. Turn and look at the smiling child. Talking. Cat fell into the water, Kier continued maturely. Mina shouted angrily at Ellie to be punished. Ellie still calmly replied, Who is afraid of who? Eyes as bright as. I also played later. The leper wears a bathrobe and goes to the hot lake. Of course, next to the boring dress. To reveal her toned body. Six-pack abdominal muscles. I heard the question in the next room. Nicola didn't see the flay. Looking around, I can't see flay. Via eyes across the tank in surprise replied. That's right, it wasn't just here. The wind sounds strange. Then startled to look down at the lake. Flay is down there. The water is coming to my mouth, blowing the ball up and down. He looked at Flay and said, of course. I asked Flay why you were here. You shouldn't go to here, Sao. Flay said too much there. Fong spoke loudly to the next room. You don't need to find Flay here. They all have the same thought. Oh, Flay, this is tricky. I walked down to the lake and asked. I used to soak it. Hurry up and say no. Every bird doesn't like water. You can't fly up if you soak down. The soft moon's glow illuminated the sparkling Sao sky. Blur of space. Under the hot lake. Save the wind together, squeeze together soak. He looked at the small boat and drowned himself in the lane. If you ask anyone, except for Ra, do you have any other friends? Lay in the water answered yes. Now they're in the rock. Heard of a strange place. He asked the mountain if it was far away. Lay must catch a day. It's a long way from me if you want to go back. Still put his mouth under the water, replied. No, I don't want to talk about anything. It's just porridge. Smiling face replied no, Sao. Stay here, I have a lot of grandchildren. To save the wind. Mysteries say we play a game. Flay was surprised and asked to play again. Save Feng replied. Let's see who can hold their breath underwater longer. Finished the paragraph. Open your mouth and take a long breath. Then dive into the lake, in the puzzled look of Flay. The lake became quiet. Then from under the water. Save the wind and sit up. Water strokes on the face, pleasure, talking, buzzing. Was too Flay attracted by the previous scene. My eyes glowed for an hour. And then immediately turn around and dive like a leopard. I saw that smiling and looking at Theo. Of course, children are still very hungry. A quiet time passed by. Looking at the quiet lake called Flay. Then I realized that maybe birds can't swim. Plunge into the water, endlessly searching. Called Flay. Flay, who had passed out under the lake, came ashore. You call out loud to force the infection, don't. I just called your hand and breathed for you. Mouth murmuring. Artificial respiration. Artificial respiration, definitely not Sao. Save Feng lift the head of the eye is closing up. Open your little mouth with your hand. Inhale a vapor that drains the windpipe close to the mouth. Listen to the urgent call. The people on the lake next door rushed to panic. Ask the owner. Why don't you come and have a look? But just got to the door, banging them in the face. It's a save and spread scene where your lips touch your lips. The stupid faces of the eyes of the seven gods. The sound of a whooping cough breaks this murky atmosphere. Was saved by artificial ventilation, just woke up. Cough out some lake water. I saw that and breathed a sigh of relief. It's so good that it makes me lose my soul. To force the memory of saving wind, just made hands on lips. Innocent eyes turned to ask. You want to laugh at me? I was stunned by the naive question. This idiot let out an hour. Flay continued. You said that kissing lips means getting married. Very seriously. You see that, laughing and waving your hands. Haha, I am only 13 years old and can't get married. FBI says 13-year-old can get married. Liu Feng continued. Okay, you can marry someone 18 years or older. I have to wait until I'm 18. Is happy to say yes. The women who are the animals right now. 18-year-old thinking Sao. Via tell Mina. It seemed like enough, and Ellie exasperated hoo-hoo. Still a little missing. Next to it are 2 rows of tears. The next day outside the city. And Mina stood by the chariot. Excellent preparation of play. He looked at Ellie and Avji to see you off. They said it's cold outside. Go inside. I'll be back soon. Look at Ellie crying. A gentle note tells me not to cry anymore. It's just temporary separation. Let's make the next one better. Only you stay to keep it up. Then you can rest assured. Besides, you're not coming back. Ellie, with tears in her eyes, Glitter looked at the wind and replied, We'll wait for you. Save wind look of easy trust, Seiverg. Your responsibility and that of the Emperor is enormous. During the time I went, you have to protect everyone. Defend the Atlantic. Avi replied to the Lord. Don't worry, leave the safety of the fort to me. To continue. Don't worry, Master. Don't forget to bring me some good food. This girl eats all the time. Sei Feng happily agreed. There will be good food for everyone. Nicola in the car. Look at everyone saying goodbye on their way to the city. The voice is calling. The young man must leave. Hear the call. Leave it for an hour and get in the car with Mina. The carriage slowly rolled. Ellie enthusiastically waved the towel, followed the small mouth, shouted loudly, Go the way carefully. This time at the charming pizza place. Igina is saying goodbye to Catherine and Dazina. Izina held hands and told the 2 of them. Catherine, remember to write to me when you get back to the capital. Catherine happily said yes. Remember to pay more attention too. Don't let your identity be revealed. Isina, don't worry. Remember to reveal you will come to the capital to find. You let me feed you. Catherine laughed and Izina laughed. Having 10 people like you doesn't matter. Banging sound. He interrupted the conversation of 3 people. A carriage appeared. Then Ra is the car to pick up Catherine and Igina. Izina realized it was time to let go. It's convenient to hug 2 people. I told you to go. Don't let being a boss wait too long. Watch the 2 people get out of the car. Go the way carefully. Catherine quietly shed tears and stepped into the car. At the suburban harbor. Blue sky, white clouds, yellow sun. The weather is very pleasant. Very suitable for a long trip. The carriage that took Catherine and Igina had just arrived. Courtesy is supporting 2 people. They got off the wagon. It's a man. Maybe the boat engineer was happy to announce. To become a master. Boat building blueprints that are afraid of being too complete. We didn't have any problems with the operation. Actually very favorable. Darina got out of the car a little surprised. I said that at night. As soon as it can be done. The Kia replied, There's a forest of forbidden mountains. Along with help. Transport of soldiers. The following spring, maybe we can build another boat. Dejina heard about the precept of making fast boats. Of Liu Feng. It's amazing the new ship has been completed so quickly. I can't believe he didn't say anything at the time. See, Azina's face seems to ponder. I asked him why. Azina replied calmly. Nothing to do. It's a big question to ask. The sky in the wind blowing. The boat sails and sails on the sea. Jade green. The waves crashed against the side of the boat. C.A. Poetrygen happily looked at the fish that just bit the fish. Excited DD. I caught one again. Azina hasn't caught any fish yet. The exasperated student scolded Catherine quietly. You threatened my boys to run away. She looked at the girl who was angry. Comforting voice advises fishing not to be hot. The mind must be stable so that the fish can catch the fish. I didn't take my word, and Azina shouted for joy. I got a question. I can see my empty fish. Silently sighing. The fish are not allowed to stay up late. Degina handles the spoils of obtained. Ask the wind. What did you guys just say? I didn't hear the well-intentioned question. Save the drum as I reply home. You're welcome. I'm just saying you look beautiful. Liu Feng's words made Degina stop thinking. What does the lower level mean? Suddenly, he called himself beautiful. Maybe he's thinking something about me. It's not impossible, but it's at SAO. It's time for lunch. Inside the boat compartment, a hearty dining table beautifully laid out. Darina looked at the delicious food on the table. Is being cleaned up by Nicola, exclaimed Moa. This is so hearty. Nicola did it all, right? Nicola put 8 soups on the table. It's mainly because the fish that people catch is so fresh. I just handled it casually. People look at the food on the car. Praise Nicola's talent. Degina covered her mouth laughing. Nicola, stop being modest. This is my first time eating meat. Such delicious fresh fish. CA poetry, please follow me too. Not expect a nun's culinary skills are so exquisite. Mina had no time to praise. 2 hands to enjoy all the dishes. A cat's hobby is fish. Eating and thinking. Take a few days to calculate the time. It is also about to arrive. Time to escape. Not much. Liu Feng's boat has arrived at the port. On the port side. Busy boats. This harbor is relatively large. Azina and Cather. Jin gracefully bowed to thank the wind. Before we say goodbye, save the land. Thank you for taking care of me these days. Azina continued. Thank you very much. We live happily. Save the welcome reply. I didn't do anything. If there is a chance, next time, welcome back to the Atlantic City. Catherine and Azina looked at each other and laughed. Solid copper bar. Then I know the refugees. Then we'll go to the capital. Goodbye. Goodbye to Nicola and Mina. The 2 of them left at goodbye. Be careful on the road. Suddenly, a man came by and entered the nun. It made you almost fall. She hurried to ask him in her heart. Why not? Now you 2 are looking at the right person. Rao is a group of animals. Dress patchwork clothes. Who had just VA. Nicola turned coldly said. Sorry. Said she looked at these poor animals wondering. This is Mina's explanation. These people are slaves. The animals had to be taken to the slave market. Look under the Kier Nicola aesthetic crowd. Turns out the other city wasn't very nice. It's like the Atlantic. Save the jacket and Mina and Nicola say, let's go. We're in the city looking for a room to stop. Other things to say later. He was floating on the sea for a few days. And finally, everyone's on board. At the port of the city, on the side of the waves rushing the busy people. Say goodbye to Degina and Katerina. Liu Feng's group. Move quickly to the inn of the city. Oh my gosh, the group goes on forever. Just arrived. It is the largest and best of the city. It's unbelievable. My heart broke when I saw the inn. This is the largest hotel, the best of the city. The face of the clam, standing at the door of the inn and shaking his head. Mina and Nicola are also holding hands. We looked at each other without saying a word about this place. And Liu Feng's guard scratched his head. Laughing foolishly said, Hung. According to my research, this is the largest hotel, the best of the city, by the way. Okay, save the wind. It's snowing cold down at the Knife Edge Inn, where the city is. The horses outside the inn also had the flu. Bury your feet in the cage. The barbarians walked into the inn. Nicola gagged small talk with Mina. This place stinks. Our Atlantic City is still cleaner. Just set foot in the hotel door. Group of people. I have heard a few words about God from the mouth of the guest in the guest room. It's true. I have a brother. Seeing the kingdom of heaven, he told me. The wind in my head. What is the God of heaven? The people in the hotel continued. There may be something in the sky. I saw your brothers. You've drunk too much. Some people in the hotel just had a drink. Just keep talking. There is no item of the heavenly kingdom. How dare Count Tenger hold this auction? It seems to me that the kingdom of heaven exists. Save the wind. Turn around and tell the toilet. Go and see what the angel kingdom is. Yes, young master. At this time in the fortress of the wall, in the great hall of the fort, the pulley came to Tango to say hello. Pulley, you're early. I haven't even prepared a welcome drink yet. Pulley laughed back. I just heard, Tang girl, you have news related to the heavenly treasures. That's why we came here immediately. Earl Tang girl also happily replied Polly. Polly, have you been in good health lately? The land's income doubled, right? Tenger say this. His face and voice were full of innuendo and sarcasm. Count Polly also sniffed up his mouth. You don't have to say these kind words. Why am I here? Probably the tender count had the answer. You tell me now. What does the angel of heaven look like? Polly is in a hurry now. Looking forward to seeing the heavenly treasures. His eyes kept going blank, shot straight at the Earl Tenger. Count Tengu didn't respond. You stay calm. To the auction tomorrow night. You'll know soon enough. Do anything in a hurry. Yes, replied Count Polly, laughing contemptuously. Don't play these plays anymore. Tell me what it is. Let me estimate. See if you have enough money. Count Tenger has stretched. He frowned, and the two of you opened up behind him. Polly's face turned pale. He panicked and said, Is a Most's notebook. He thought in his head fearfully. What is a Mott's notebook? He's not kidding. I have experienced it, replied the Teng girl. Must be a Mott's notebook. Polly close voice with Teng girl. Tenger, don't auction any more. Give it to the four princes. What is it? Tang girl staring at Polly. And now he's helping the prince to the throne. Prince in hand. There are. The world will remember Lord Tenverse's grace. At least he'll be a great earl. Earl Tangirl pretends to be bored. He crossed his arms in front of his chest, shaking his head, answering Bully Tutu. There's no way. I've given you all the news. If I don't auction, my reputation will be ruined. At this point, his eyes lit up. Like this, I have reported before. I'd like to go back and prepare, Mr. Polly. Please, just be here. Then Tango turned and left. The whole person exudes danger. Serious reflection from I can't believe Polly is the man of the 4 princes. Then he ordered his subordinates.